What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Liz Cambage. Okay, she is leaving the LA Sparks WNBA team. This was actually her first season with the team. She signed as a big-time WNBA free agent, but it has not worked out, and she is leaving. Now, I don't know what her future holds in the WNBA. But to me, I think that Liz might just be over playing basketball in general. Okay. She has notoriety. She's doing her thing on OnlyFans. I don't really think her priority is basketball. And that is why it's easy for her to walk away right now instead of staying. I could be wrong, but you don't walk, because again, this wasn't considered a bad team she was going to. The expectations that they may have been looking for her may not be what it was supposed to be, but nonetheless, she's leaving. And I think I said this before, I would not be surprised within a year. She's just on OnlyFans. She's not even doing, not even playing basketball anymore, because the money, especially for her, is not in basketball. Because the WNBA is doing nothing to promote their stars. Liz is considered one of their stars, but they do nothing to promote her, nothing. And they have the resources as far as ESPN, ABC, and they refuse to utilize those. Even though ESPN does what they can to promote the sport, they should be putting those ladies in TV shows, commercials, like they used to do in the 90s and early 2000s. You'd see basketball players, baseball players, football players on, syndicated television shows, making cameo appearances in movies and commercials. Don't really see that. And I just think she just might just be tired of it, and just wants to go and do something else. She dealt with the controversy from her home country. People were accusing her of not liking, African foreigners. I'll just say that. And telling them they need to go back to their, y'all know the story. And I think that she just might be done with dealing with basketball, because obviously they're not going to do their job as far as promoting her and putting her in the best position to be successful. And that is why I think it's easy for her to want to walk away, because she really doesn't have any incentive. It's definitely not the money to stay in the WNBA. She came in as a big time free agent. What has come of it? Their team has not been as successful as she's wanted to be. And she's dealt with some issues. But it might be best for Liz to step away, because I don't think she really has the heart for basketball anymore. I just don't. So let's get into this article. All right. Says, exactly why did Liz, the controversial WNBA star and influencer, decide to ditch the league's Los Angeles Sparks on Tuesday in what the team called a contract divorce? Cambage hasn't spoken publicly about why she walked away, but her social media and the ups and downs of her career off the court offer clues to why what seemed like playing in a dream location ended abruptly just before the Sparks made a playoff charge. Well, that's because when people have a lot going on, it doesn't matter where they are. We've seen situations where players go to the cities that they want to play in, but they still mess it up. And for whatever reason, I don't think she has the passion to play basketball anymore. I really don't. She's doing other things. She's famous. A lot of times, some people, they only want to be famous. They don't really care about what got them there. And for her to want to leave lets you know that even though she seems like she's in a good situation, we can talk about mental health, but it doesn't stop her from going to red carpet award shows. On May 5th, Cambage tweeted stories from the New York Times and Los Angeles Times, write-ups that cast the beginning of her time in LA as a new beginning after several false starts with other teams. The WNBA star is an outspoken, confident, and finally where she wants to be, in Los Angeles, playing for the Sparks. The Times subhead blared. Well, that doesn't seem to have made her any happier. Less than 3 months later, Sparks interim head coach Fred Williams announced Cambage's departure as he spoke to the media. If he had answers about why the Australian player ditched the squad, he wasn't saying. That was part of their agreement, probably. She wouldn't say anything about them. They wouldn't say anything about her. I have to respect what she wants, said interim coach Fred Williams, whose relationship with Cambage began in 2018 when she played for the Williams-coached Dallas Wings. Once a person gives you that verbally what she wants, you have to listen, because it could be something else. Could be something that's not related to basketball. It is with support that we share Liz's decision to terminate her contract with the organization. Sparks managing partner Eric Holloman said in a statement, "We want what's best for Liz and have agreed to part ways amicably. The Sparks remain excited about our core group and are focused on our run towards a 2022 playoff berth." You know what would be very interesting is if they go on to win a championship without her. I don't know how she would feel about that, man. She probably would feel some type of way. You know, the trolls would probably clown her on Twitter, but you know, she is leaving them kind of high and dry for the betterment of herself. I think it's better for her to not be there and be a distraction than for her to be there and be a distraction. She's made the choice to walk away. So all they can do is agree to it, because if she doesn't want to be there, she doesn't want to be there. Cambage left her former team at an inconvenient time for the Sparks, who now have to try to squeak into the WNBA playoffs without a reliable backup center on their bench. And despite a sub 500 record in the WNBA, the top 8 teams by a winning percentage makes the playoffs regardless of standing. The Sparks are currently tied for the 6th seed with a .444 win percentage. The team they're tied with, the Dallas Wings, is one of several that Cambage left early during a career marked by controversy and Liz's admitted struggles with anxiety and depression. In 2019, a Players Tribune essay on mental health, Cambage attributed early ends to her stints with the Wings and the Tulsa Shock to bouts with mental health challenges, just like when she was with the Australian team and she left because of mental health. "My mental health played a role in my decision on where to play this year. I couldn't make it work in the end in Tulsa or Dallas, in the middle of this foreign country without my support system. I remember flying back from Melbourne to Tulsa for the 2012 W season, and when we got off the plane during our layover in Sydney, I'm not sure quite how to explain it, but I just could not get back on. I couldn't go back." Cambage was playing for the Las Vegas Aces at the time, but signed with the Sparks as a free agent this past offseason. She also cited her mental health after the most controversial incident of her basketball career in 2020. She left the Australian national team, the Opals, after a fight broke out between Cambage and several members of the Nigerian national team as both squads prepped for the Summer Olympics. And that situation is still following her to this day. Cambage, whose father is Nigerian, was later accused of throwing an elbow at one of the Nigerian players and called several of them monkeys. And that accusation, which she has denied, might have also hurt her chemistry with the Sparks locker room. That also includes starting forward Chine and Nika, who are Nigerian American. From my understanding, I think they might have still been cool with her. She talks about being homesick. You know, she talks about not wanting to go back early in her career. I think Liz just doesn't have a passion for basketball. You came to the United States because you wanted to challenge yourself. If she wanted to be home, she'd be home. I believe she now resides in Los Angeles, so she's not too homesick, so we can't say it's that. I just think she has no passion for basketball. She, like I said, she's doing OnlyFans. She's famous now. She gets to do all these different things outside of basketball, except basketball. I just think she doesn't care. If you have a passion for something, you're going to do everything you can to play. You know, people love to talk about how Kyrie Irving doesn't seem like he has a passion. Kyrie Irving ain't staying home for mental health. He stayed home last year because he didn't want to take the jab, and I don't blame him. I really don't. I don't care what anybody says. So with Liz, I just think Liz is in a situation where she's tired. She doesn't care about basketball anymore. It's not her main source of income. She's doing OnlyFans like she's fine. And that's why she walked away. She walked away because she doesn't need money from the WNBA like she did a couple of years ago. So y'all let me say in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts and like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will see y'all next one.